4 stocks follow the market.
Yeah.
If China and the U.S. don't come to an agreement and this trade war lasts longer, like that's gonna affect things. Well, if you follow me on Twitter, I get in fights with people, all the time, but specifically people who are invested in pump and dumps and they don't realize it. Like Verb, used to be, I don't even remember what their old ticker was. But I was like, guys, I'm not debating the technology. They're like, exactly, you don't understand the technology. I'm like, I don't give a about the technology. And they're like, but the CEO says this and all this. And I was like, the stock has been promoted with email blast. Here's the email blast. It's a pump. Pumps fail. Their technology is just a smokescreen. But there were promotions, right? So they weren't debating the promotions. They're like, okay, maybe there was a little promotion, but the technology is good. And I'm like, you don't understand, okay? If there's any promotion, that means somebody put money into those email promos instead of giving it to the company to make their magical technology. So anybody who is investing in the pumping of their stock means that they just want the stock up so they can sell. Any stock that gets promoted is
Yeah.
There's only a few. I can count them on one hand that actually survived. True Religion jeans. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
And the jeans actually fucking took off. But aside from that, and this is Verb, V-E-R-B, it went from, they did a reverse split, so it never went up to 44, but it had the big spike due to the pump, a little secondary pump, and now dead. And some people listened, some people were like, how did you know? I was like, it's the same pattern every time. It's not rocket science. But most people still went down with the ship, and it's still on the active message boards, and now they've taken their anger out on the CEO. The CEO blames short sellers. Yeah, the CEO says we've been targeted by illegal short sellers. He made a whole video. And they didn't mention me, but like everyone's tweeting me like, oh, Sykes is just trying to short this. I was like, I have never shorted this stock. There's no shares to short. I rarely short. I'm just trying to warn you before you dump all your money. And it was the same thing with the marijuana stocks. That was when the Men's Journal reporter was following me. And I was trying to warn everybody, like, this is a classic pump and dump chart. And I didn't know that they would all crash so well. I just knew that it was a similar chart. So when you have the chart, it usually plays out 99 times out of 100.
So speaking of marijuana stocks,
yeah,
I actually want to buy I want to buy and hold the marijuana stock, but I don't know which one to pick. I don't know which one is not like complete.
Well, so GRWG is a play that I've been watching. A few traders like Tim Sykes, I think, have positions. I'm just watching. It doesn't have enough volume or volatility, so I wouldn't do it. But that one has fundamentals. Like if you actually look at their revenues, if you actually look at their product, that's what you look for. Something.
Look at the revenues?
Yeah, look at the revenues. Pull it up.
So Yahoo Finance?
Yeah. Or you could just go to bigcharts.com and look at a press release and they'll talk about it. There's many different ways. Big Charts, Yahoo Finance, free real-time, OTC markets. Yahoo Finance used to be good, and then they changed their whole thing.
GRWG?
GRWG, yeah. Grow Generation Corp. And I have no position. I might buy, I don't know.
So this one, so where should I go to financials?
Yeah.
I got it up on the screen. And then, so we're looking at their revenues.
See, they're growing year over year. Look, from the right side, show the screen too.
Wow.
3 to 7 to 14 to 29.
Yeah,
so they have fundamentals.
That's it? That's all you look at?
That's it. It's really that simple, man.
Did you see the web society is a big chat something?
Bigcharts.com. You can do that. I just use it for like charting sometimes and press releases.
How come you don't have a position in it now if you like?
I might take a long-term position. It's just not volatile enough for me. I know I have impatience. It actually just broke out yesterday, which is why I'm mentioning it because I saw Tim Sykes and I know he's talked about it a little in the past, but it finally broke out after he's had it for like months.
It had a really nice spike.
But it just doesn't have enough volume. It trades a few 100,000 shares a day. It doesn't,
But I mean, if you're buying it for the long
Well,
term.
this is what you said. You said that's specifically why you said, hey, I'm looking for something long term. It has the fundamentals. It has a breakout. It's worth a shot. I'm not necessarily going to do it because I don't have that patience. But if you're looking for something long term, this is the kind of play to look for. You're looking for growing revenues, you're looking for profits, you're looking for a hot sector, and you're looking for an uptrending chart like this.
Sweet, I'm gonna buy some right now.
No!
Why not? You just gave me all the indicators.
God!
Why can't, why not?
I'm just saying something like that. Do not just buy a stock when you get a tip from anybody. You have to do digging, research.
We just did.
That was not digging or research. That was me just explaining why it's a potential play.
So what more digging should we do?
Go to their website, look at their products, look at the message boards, look at Twitter, see what people are saying, see what their competitors are doing. There's a lot of goes into it. And again, this is why I'm not good at that, but
Oh, this is an OTC?
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. This is a little piece of shit. So I wouldn't just buy anything randomly. And then also, I think the biggest risk right now is that the market is up so much. We're at all-time highs, and we don't have the China deal, and we haven't really had any positive signs that a China deal is happening. So 3 out of 4 stocks follow the market. So I wouldn't buy anything right now because
Why
I
is
think
the China deal relevant? What?
3 out of 4 stocks follow the market.
Yeah,
If China and the U.S. don't come to an agreement and this trade war lasts longer, that's gonna affect things.
What do you mean, like the trade war? Like they're not.
Do you know about the China trade war?
No.
So the U.S. and China right now are imposing tariffs on each other for different products. Because the U.S. says, hey, China, you're not paying us enough taxes. China says, go f*** yourself. And so there's a war, and there's negotiations on and off, like, can we get this settled? But until it's settled, there's extra tariffs. So any goods coming from China right now have like an extra 10, 15, 20%. Different goods have different percentages.
Yeah.
And they're taxed. It's an import tax whenever they enter the U.S., which is not good for companies. It's not good for consumers. So theoretically, they should come up with a deal because these are the two world superpowers. But no deal has been reached, and, aside from posturing from both countries, it doesn't look like a deal is happening right now. And if anything bad happens, where let's say they break off negotiations, and that becomes news, the Dow could drop 1,000, 2,000 in a day.
Wow.
And then speculative stocks like this, I don't give a what their fundamentals are. They'll get crushed. So you kind of have that as the backdrop. Also, this is summertime. If you look at stock market history, summer is statistically the worst time to be invested. There's a saying called sell in May and go away, because if you hold stocks up until May, statistically throughout history, you're better.
So we start buying in September, right?
November. September and October are the 2 worst statistically performing months. So if you want to go through history, you don't invest in May, June, July, August, September. 5 months. That's about it. Hey, Tim Sykes, Millionaire Mentor and Trader. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope that they help you. I want to share everything that I've learned over the years. You can check out more videos right over there. And also click subscribe so that you can watch all of these videos, get that knowledge, and become my next millionaire student.